In this video, we'll explore the concepts of loops in JavaScript, focusing on the most common type, the for loop. Loops help us execute a block of code multiple times. Imagine you need to print the numbers from 1 to 10. Without loops, you would have to write 10 separate lines of code. For example, console log 1, console log 2, and the same until 10. So let's try to do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's run the program to make sure it works. And it works. But as you can see, this is very tedious. So loops help us write more concise and efficient code by automating repetitive tasks. Now let's learn about the for loop. The for loop has three main components. Let's leave a comment. The first one is the initialization, when a starting value is set for the loop. The second one is the condition phase, and the third one is the increment phase. The condition phase is where a test must be true for a loop to continue, and the increment component is where something is updated after each iteration. You'll understand this once you see the syntax. So, for initialization, then condition, then increment. Open braces, and there we have some code. So it works like this. The first step is the initialization. So a variable is initialized. Then the condition is executed to see that the variable is less than a number or something like that. Then the code is executed, then the increment, then again the condition, then the code, increment, condition, code, and so on. So let's see an example. Let's create a for loop that prints the numbers from 1 to 10. We'll use the loop control variable I, initialize it with 1, and set a condition to continue as long as I is less than or equal to 10. So for let I equal 1, I is less than or equal to 10, and increment I by 1 after each iteration, so I plus plus. If you don't know what I plus plus means, it's the same as saying I plus equal 1 or I is equal to I plus 1. So it just increments its value by 1. And inside the braces, we can have console log I. Let's first see if it works. So let's run the program. And you will see that all the numbers are printed from 1 to 10. Let's understand how this works. First, we create a variable, let I equal 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 10? Yes. Then print it to the console. And 1 is printed. Then increment the value of I by 1. I is now 2. Is 2 less than or equal to 10? Yes. Print it. Increment the value of I by 1. I is now equal to 3. Is 3 less than 10? Yes, print it, and so on. Let's start by I equal 9. So we printed 9. Increment the value by 1. Is 10 less than or equal to 10? Yes, print 10. Increment it by 1. I is now equal to 11. Is 11 less than or equal to 10? No, so we exit the loop. So this is how it works. Now let's see another example. Let's create a for loop that adds up all the numbers from 1 to 5 and print the total sum. Let's remove this for a second. So how do we do that? We need to create an initial variable called sum so we can print that. Let sum equal 0 or let I equal 1. I is less than or equal to 5. I plus plus. Again, we want to add all the numbers from 1 to 5 and print the total sum. So open the braces and increment the sum by I, because in the first step, sum will be 0, but in the second step, it will add 1. In the third step, it will add 2, and so on until I is 5. And in the final step, sum will be incremented by 5. Again, if you remember, this statement or this operator means that sum is equal to sum plus I. these two are equivalent. Okay, and in the end, let's print the final result. And let's run the code. And the final result is 15, which means 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is equal to 3 plus 7 plus 5, which is equal to 15. So again, let's see how this works. Let's leave a comment. In the first step, sum is declared as an integer and it's 0. Then I is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 5? Yes. Then sum is incremented by 1. So sum is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. Then increment I by 1. I is 2. Is 2 less than or equal to 5? Yes. Then execute this. Sum is sum plus 2, which is 1 plus 2, which is 3. Then again, I is equal to 3. 3 is less than 5. So sum is equal to 3 plus 3, which is 6. Then sum is equal to 6 plus 4, which is 10. And the final step is sum 10 plus 5, because I is 5, and it's 15. And then I is 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 5? No, it's not. So the loop is done. You need to understand that loops are an essential tool for simplifying repetitive tasks and writing more efficient code. So try to practice this on your own and try to understand each step of the process.